Hi, my name is Peter Pilt and I'm the National Director of Global Care. Trust you're having a fantastic INC Roadshow and learning lots and being inspired. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about how you can use Global Care to build growth and momentum in your local church. But I actually don't want to talk to you as the National Director of Global Care. Rather, I want to speak to you as a fellow INC senior pastor. Over the last 22 years, I've had the honour and privilege of being the senior pastor of two great INC churches, Nowra City Church for 15 years and currently City Hope Church in Beenleigh. Both of these churches have been growing churches, and I attribute in part the growth of these churches to what we've done through Global Care. I've always seen Global Care as an introduction agency between my church and the local community. So here are 6 ways that I've used Global Care to build growth and momentum in the churches that I've pastored. Number 1 is disaster response. When we had a fire sweep through Nowra in 2002, Global Care sent us a whole stack of resources that allowed us to do so much more than what we could have done just as a local church or even just as a local Global Care. And it was those resources that allowed me to go out and to be an incredible champion to the local community. And in fact, what we did in that season really cemented in the community's mind that we were an others-focused church, and that gave us incredible momentum forward in the life of the church. Also, we have sent teams out to disasters, and this has created momentum as well. Recently, City Hope Church sent a team down to Tathra on the far south coast. And when the team came back to see those photos, to show the photos in church, hear the stories, again, builds momentum and shows the church that we're an others-focused church. My church is always involved in the appeals and the offerings that Global Care takes up. For example, the Justice Month offering that happens every August and will be happening this August in just a couple of months' time. But what that does is that allows me to own the work that Global Care is doing. So for instance, my church was involved in the offering last August. And so when there's trucks turning up to Narrabri and Gilgandra and those places with hay for farmers, we can own that as a church, and I can show those images to the church and say, you guys are awesome, look what you've done. And then when there's a flood in North Queensland and the guys are up there in Townsville and in Julia Creek helping out, we can take ownership in that, and I can say, thank you City Hope Church for being others focused. Thank you City Hope Church for being incredibly generous. The third way that I use Global Care to build growth and momentum in my church is that I give out the newsletters that come out twice a year. To me, as I'm giving out the Global Care newsletters, it's me kind of showing the church that we are part of something bigger than what we are. It's not just our local Global Care. It's not just our local church, but we are part of a bigger story, a bigger narrative, and we can celebrate that. And again, it allows me to speak about the fact that we at City Hope Church are an others-focused church. We're a community-orientated church, that we want to be a kind church. We want to connect with people. All these messages constantly coming through help my church focus on people outside of its 4 walls, and that's what it's about. Number 4 is that my local Global Care is all about acts of kindness and getting out in the community and helping in any way we can. In fact, one of the things that we do is we go down and we have barbecues at the local skate park, and that just got the attention of our local council. They did an interview with one of our Global Care coordinators and featured that in a magazine that went all over Logan City, all talking about what we are doing at our local Global Care here. Now, I can't get that kind of free media as a church, but I can get it as a local Global Care, which points back to our church. And that's what I love about Global Care. I've always seen it as an introduction agency between my church and my local community. Number 5 is National Others Week. This is the first week in November, and it's a week focused on random acts of kindness. And I require every department in my church to do something to connect with people out in the community. And every year, we always have these incredible stories coming back of people that have actually done the kindness. And they've been amazed at the response that they've had. But then we hear the stories of the people that have had the acts of kindness done to them and their incredible response. And so for me, this National Others Week, using National Others Week, just lifts our level of focusing on others, being focused on kindness to a whole new level every single year. Great momentum generator. The final way that I've used Global Care to build growth and momentum in my church is that we get involved in international humanitarian projects. Recently, City Hope Church was involved in purchasing 20 goats for 10 impoverished families in Vietnam. And I love the fact that we as a church, all we do is do a bank transfer into Global Care's account. And then it's the machinery of Global Care that actually makes all that happen and buys the goats and does all that kind of stuff. And then as a senior pastor, I just sit back, I get the stories, I get the photos, I get the shout outs, I show them on Sunday, and it's a great momentum generator for us as a church, being others focused. Really, really simple. And 100%, I love this, 100% of the money that's donated to projects like that go to the projects, which is fantastic. So look, I can't talk enough about how important Global Care has been to me as I have grown churches, again, over 22 years. It's the best introduction agency between your community and your local church. It's powerful.